Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Sunday frequency meditation. Hope we all had a great week. Just coming in. Let's tonight look at peace, which is quite a big topic, right? So just take a breath in right now. Just let's get situated where you are. Notice you and your body. You're standing, maybe you're walking, maybe you're doing something. Just notice, observe yourself right now, this moment, and just come into this moment of time. There's only one moment at a time. So let's be in the most accurate moment right now. And take a nice deep breath in. Really feel that air coming into your lungs. So the email arrived, the one you've been waiting for. And it was great news. The relief moved through the body, real, immediate, physical. Maybe the chest opened, or the shoulders dropped a bit, or even the breath dropped a little bit lower. And then, within about 30 seconds, the mind started looking for the next thing. And it's not because anything was wrong. The good news was still good news. Nothing had changed. But some part of the nervous system didn't feel comfortable. It couldn't just simply rest inside the relief. It needed something else to hold on to, something to monitor, something to carry forward. So it found something. It always does. Nervous system is incredibly intelligent, resourceful, precise. So it finds a different worry, maybe a smaller, vaguer one, something about maybe the future, maybe tomorrow. Something about whether this good thing might somehow not last. You know, that other shoe is going to drop. So although the relief was still technically there, it was no longer being felt. It had been replaced. What replaced it was motion, movement. So this is what tonight is about. Another nice deep breath in. Just coming to your sphere, that center point behind the eyes, just hang out there. So it's not the worry itself, it's at the instant. We're going to go into the instant after relief, where then the nervous system reaches for something to do, because doing nothing, even when nothing's required, that has started to feel very unfamiliar to us. We love familiarity. So for many people, peace doesn't feel like relief at all. It actually feels like emptiness. So what do? We fill up that emptiness with the next problem, the next thing to have to monitor, control, manipulate. So tonight you're going to feel the difference between those two things directly, because they're not the same. They've just been living in the same place in the body for so long. Most people stopped being able to tell them apart. First, the worry versus that instant after relief comes in, and then the nervous system has to fill it, because that peace, that stillness is not familiar to us. It's not comfortable. If your eyes are closed, open your eyes right now. Just look around that external environment, everything outside of your body. Just observe it. Try not to judge it. Right, wrong, could be better, could be worse. Just observe it. Oh, this is cool. This is what I've created. Maybe not consciously, but this is a reflection of my inner environment that can change. And then close your eyes, come back into your inner environment, everything where the skin stops inwards. Back to our sphere, that center part behind the eyes. Just stay here. Just a nice regular rhythm to the breath. Notice how the breath moves on its own without you having to get involved. So right now, this very second, which is all we have, this very moment, nothing here is being asked of you. Nothing is being asked of you right now. Not yet. So just stay here. Take a little holiday if you like. It's what these sessions offer. Just a little holiday away from those relentless programs always firing up in the background, whether we're aware of it or not. But that's what influences that external environment. Now let's bring in the email or the message or the conversation that finally ended well. Something recent where generally good news arrived or something, some possibility came into your reality or something happened that resolved itself. And for a moment, to that moment that there's nothing left to carry. And really feel that first moment again. The relief was real. The body knew it. Might have reflected it by the chest opening more, the shoulders dropping, or the jaw just softening. Just for a few seconds when nothing was wrong. Just stay there with that feeling. And then feel what happened next. Not the next day. What happened the next 30 seconds? Something in the nervous system began searching quietly, almost politely, looking for that next thing to think about, the next small uncertainty to hold, the next loose thread that might need your attention. And the relief which had just arrived, which was still completely true, was already being replaced. And now let's look, how long did it occupy us, whatever that thing is that resolved itself? How long did it be like that saying, take up rent free in our head? And then we finally got it, only to enjoy it less than 30 seconds before we move on to the next challenge we have, or the next thing we need resolving in order for us to really show up for life. It's quite incredible. Taking a breath in. Let's feel that exact handover in the body, whether it's the chest or the throat or the shoulders, the stomach. I get it in my stomach. Whatever, just open. How it's beginning to organize itself around something again. Not because anything new had actually happened, but because the stillness that came in, that good stillness, started to feel like something was missing. This is a moment most people never can see. Not the worry itself. That's what most people see. That's what most therapy and everything, other modalities out there focus on. Nobody has that precision to go into the moment before, the instant just before it, where ease arrived. And the system, instead of resting inside it, reached straight past it for something to manage. Just be aware of your spine, 33 vertebrae, the gaps between the vertebrae. You in your spine in your body. Let this spread out now across the ordinary shape of your life. It's how we really start to get that knowing, not from the mind, but from the nervous system, highlighting, bringing this up to the surface. Maybe there's that free evening you waited for all week. You've worked all week for it. Finally had that opportunity. And within you couldn't land inside it once it arrived. Or maybe that relationship that became actually steady was immediately met with a quiet search for white might eventually go wrong with it. That Friday that finally came, you spent half present, Bentley somewhere else. Already rehearsing, maybe for the Monday. Again and again, the good thing arrives, and within moments, the nervous system is already looking past it. Not because the good thing is not enough, but again, it's because stillness hasn't been practiced the way tension has been practiced. It's not embodied in us. It hasn't been recycled endless amount of times. So the body spent years training itself to organize around friction, something to prepare for, recover from, monitor, replay. There's always almost no training in simply staying inside something that doesn't require management. Yet that's our natural default state. That's how we're designed. To be in the moment, not holding anything. It's not our job. So when nothing needs managing, the system doesn't relax. It panics quietly, but it still panics. It starts manufacturing something to do. Just take a breath in. And this is what is revealed when you slow this down enough to feel it. The friction was never required by the situation. It was required by the nervous system's relationship with itself. Tension had become a kind of company, a familiar internal companion that made the body feel orientated, occupied, real. And then when that companion is suddenly not needed, even for a few moments, something in the system experiences that absence, the kind of a disappearance, if you like. It's a loss, not danger, just a disorientation. That will happen to many of you when you keep expanding and those old programs drop and you move into another version of yourself, a clearer version. It's very disorientating. It can be. I know everybody wants these shifts to happen fast. I'd be cautious about that because you can speed it up. But the timings are ready with precision. So we shift efficiently without getting disorientated. That's when you can drop that term detox. You don't have to go through that. A detox process, not with what we do. Take another breath in. Just stay exactly where you are right now. Just notice maybe the chest is softened, the jaw is a little bit looser. Notice how your breath is moving without direction. And now let something land that the reaching has been it's been quietly covering for a very long time. You're not aware of it. Peace doesn't feel empty because peace is empty. Peace feels empty because the body, as mentioned, has spent so long mistaking motion for aliveness, that stillness no longer registers as a feeling at all, actually. It registers in an absence, a gap, a space the system doesn't know how to occupy without filling it. So the body feels it. The nervous system feels it with a new worry, a new thread to pull, a new task, anything that restores a familiar internal hum of something happening. But as we know, we're called human beings. We're not called human doings, but isn't that part of how we are? We're always doing. That's how we define ourselves. Most people feel incredibly uncomfortable, incredibly disorientated, just being. No reference of externals to define who they are. Oh, I'm a mom, or I'm a CEO, or I'm unemployed, or I'm a loser, or I'm whatever it is. Always some definition, an action that goes with it. So the nervous system is going like, but that's how I define myself. Peace in the moment. I don't know how to define myself there just yet. So another breath in. And the great thing is, the cool thing here is that the thing that changes everything once it's felt clearly is that the body was never trying to ruin the peace. It was just trying to come home to the only kind of aliveness it had ever been taught to recognize, it's familiar with. So feel that. Feel the weight of that, not as a failure, but as just history. So somewhere a long time ago, the nervous system learned that staying slightly ahead of life, slightly braced, slightly occupied, slightly prepared was what kept it safe. It's been running that program faithfully ever since, even now, even in moments that contain no actual threat at all. So the body's not broken, it's simply still protecting you from something that is not currently happening, that's all. So feel what's available underneath all of that reaching. Not excitement, not a breakthrough, something quieter. It's actually far more durable than either of those. As you stay inside the relief from earlier, like whatever it was, that email, the message, the moment that resolved itself, without letting the mind move past it this time, just stay there in the actual feeling, not the next thought about the feeling. Just feel how unfamiliar that is. And you notice how quickly the system wants to leave. And feel what happens when you don't have to follow it. That's how powerful we are. We can not follow any thought at any time once we have the awareness, i.e. the awakening. Maybe the chest stays open a moment longer than usual, or the breath drops just a little further. Something that's almost always braced, even slightly, softens. Just because for once, it's not being asked to find the next thing. You'll really feel it. Your body will feel where this is stored, where this is braced, once you release it. It's been there for so long, you're just used to it. Once it's released, you're like, wow, I've been holding my shoulders my whole life, or whatever it is. And what we're doing here is not numbness. Numbness pulls you away from the body. This pulls you directly into it. The clarity that comes from here is very simple. And it changes the way peace feels from this point forward. There's that recognition that comes that the good thing was never going to be enough on its own. Because it was never the good thing that was missing. It's actually the body's willingness to actually stay inside it once it arrived, instead of leaving, instead of reaching for the next thing. And that willingness, it can be practiced, not through more breakthroughs, through staying just slightly longer than feels natural, inside the moment that's already fine. So it's consistent with everything we do here in space-time, is that it's all about practice. What I do here is I open the conversation up between you and your, whatever you call it, your higher self, higher power, intelligence, universe, whatever that is. I just open the conversation up, and now it's for you. With practice, you start to own it, you integrate it, you embody it. So let's take this into the coming week with only one thing. The next time something resolves, it will, a message, a conversation, a small relief, maybe your finances weren't as bad as you thought, a relationship, maybe you've had a long-term family relationship that's been always challenging, and all of a sudden it's smoother, it flows. Whatever it is, notice the exact moment the mind reaches past it for the next thing to carry. And it's not to stop it. As you're noticing it, just stay one breath longer than usual inside the relief before the system moves on. Because that one extra breath is where the body slowly relearns, the nervous system's reintroduced to something it forgot a very, very long time ago. Breathing in right now. So maybe that email arrived, the relief was real, and just for 30 seconds before the mind reaches for the next thing, nothing was missing at all. Maybe that 30 seconds could turn into a minute, which turns into an hour. Stay here. That hour might turn into a week, might turn into a month, might turn into a year, a decade, a lifetime. And I'll see everybody next week.